Hello everyone, welcome back to another video going over Fusion World. Last video we went over what the actual game is, how the turn order and how the game setup goes, the game flow, and we looked at the first starter deck, which is Son Goku, the mono red deck. And I had mentioned that we are going to go over all the starter decks, so this one today we'll be going over the Vegeta starter deck, which is a mono blue. It's the second starter deck because there's 4 starter decks total, so there'll be 4 videos pertaining to all of this. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the last video where I talked about the game, but the starter decks come out February 16th, 2024, and then the booster box, which is this right here, comes out February 23rd. So there's just about a week in between the starter decks coming out and then the booster box coming out. So there's not much starter deck building stuff because it's just a week. So there's not really anything that can happen during that week. Who knows? Maybe there will be some other YouTuber or some streamer might want to have a just starter deck tournament within that week. But who knows? Maybe there will be something official. I doubt it though. But if we go ahead and hop over here to the Eggman Events website again, because this is the only place that I can find all the cards in one place in very neat order. Like I said, we'll be looking at the starter deck 2, the Vegeta starter deck. So here we have the leader Vegeta, mono blue. It's a 15k leader, has an effect that when attacking, draw 1 card, and then awaken. If your life is at 4 or less, draw 1 card, then flip this card over. So pretty similar to Goku's unawakened side. But when he does awaken, he becomes a 20k. He keeps the when attacking, draw 1 card, but then has an activate main once per turn, which in last video we covered the activate main you can only do during your turn before you attack. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, this card gets 15k power for the turn. So he's essentially, every single attacking turn, he can be a 35k leader, which does make him the strongest with the effect. But Broly, when we get to the Broly one, which will be next video, Broly's base power is 25k, but this one's 35. This right here, the 7 or fewer cards in hand, is kind of the point where you want to have your hand at when you're playing this deck. A lot of cards effects in the starter deck are revolving around that 7 or less limit. So then hopping over here to the battle cards, the first one we have here is a vanilla Gotenks, 3-drop, 25k, 10,000 combo power. Just, a regular old vanilla for a starter deck, just something to kind of fill in the gap if you don't have anything else to play. Then the next one we have is a 4-drop Gotenks, Super Gotenks, 25k, 5,000 combo power. And on play, if you have 7 or fewer cards in hand, so another card doing an example of why you need the 7 or less, add up to 1 Son Goten and up to 1 Trunks Youth, both with a cost of 2 or less from your drop to your hand. There are 2 Gotenks and 2 Trunks in this deck. There's 2 1 costs and 2 2 costs. The 2 costs are a little bit better, so it's kind of the target here, but it's just nice with that 2 or less to where if you just don't have the Gotens in the trash that you want to get, but you have the 1 drop, you can get the 1 drop. But this is a really good, there's one other card in this that lets you get a card from trash. So this lets you get 2 cards. So you're paying 4 and you get a 25k attacker, and then you get 2 cards back from trash. It's just a pretty good effect, just more cycling. And then, say if you want to have exactly 7 cards to then still do effects, like if you have 5 cards and you play this, or you play this and you have 5 cards and you can get up to 7, so you still have that decent hand size, but then you can still do effects. Then we have our 4-drop 30k, 10,000 10,000 combo power, Son Goku, Super Saiyan 3, just vanilla. It's it can hit Broly, the Broly starter deck leader. That's 25k base power. It can hit them, and then they have to combo out of it, so it's not that bad. I think the Piccolo from the Goku one is a 3-drop though. I could be wrong. I can't really remember, but still, it's vanilla that can hit the strongest current leader in the game. Next we have a 1-drop Sun Goten, which I'd mentioned, 15k, 10,000 combo power. So the reason that this one could be a target is if you just want to have that 10,000 combo power, get it, like you use this as combo power and then you can get it back from trash with the Super Gotenks and then use it again for the combo power if you want, or if you just wanted a 15k on the board, something like that. Then we probably have the more intended target. It 2-drop Sun Goten, 15k. It still has that 10,000 combo power, but if you don't have this in the trash, then and this is in there, then you still get the 10,000 combo power. When attacking, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. Then if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 2 or less and return it to owner's hand. So this is good for a blocker. Another one of these, I guess. I think there's some 2-drops that are like 20Ks. Either 20 or 25Ks. I'm pretty sure it's a 2-drop 20K. So, you can get a 20K off the field, you get a blocker off the field. Or when the actual set comes out, this could, there could be a bunch of different 2-drops that do a bunch of different things. Then we have Son Gohan. He is a 3-drop 20K, 5,000 combo power. Permanent during your turn. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, this card gets 15,000 power. So this is basically just another Vegeta, but you're another leader Vegeta, but you don't have to activate the main ability. This is just a persistent during your turn. He is a 3-drop 35k. So this one's going to be a real good target to try to get on the field. Because when you get to this, you get to 35k and 35k. So it's 2 35s on the board. And like I said about the Broly, like the starter deck Broly, that one's 25. So then they're going to have to combo out of those, because even though they're 25 and that is the strongest, it's still just, you have 2 cards in the blue deck that can hit over the leader. Then we have Trunks Youth, 1-drop, 5k, 5,000 power, on play, draw 1 card. This one's kind of meant for just a turn 1 play, draw a card, and then use it in a combo attack or combo defense, something like that. And then from the Super Gotenks, you can play it and then get this back and then get a card in hand. And then again, have a 5k combo attack or defense on the board. Then Trunks Youth, 2-drop, 15k, 10,000 combo. So a target for the Super Gotenks. Permanent during your turn. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, this card gets plus 10,000 power. So it is a base 25k during your turn. So another example, so there's a lot of your turn effects. So really good attack, but then kind of lacking in defense. But I guess that's why they have these bounce effects and then getting stuff back from trash, just to kind of make up for the lack in defense. But he has an on play, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. So this is a good card to get your life from 8 down to 4 quicker. So then you can then awaken and then have that 35k attack every single turn. Then we have our super combo for the deck. It is Videl. Again, this is just like the Kai from, they're not the Elder Kai, the Kai from the Goku starter deck, where when you use this as a defensive combo, then instead of it being a 10k combo, it is a 20k combo because it gains that extra 10k. So just a card that is mainly designed to only be used in a defensive capacity, not a offensive. Then we have a 3-drop 20k 5,000 combo Piccolo on play. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, add up to 1 extra card from your drop to your hand. I think this card is going to be really good past this starter deck into the first set that's coming out, just because it's like you have the 7 or fewer, and you can get any extra card, any event card, whatever, from your drop to your hand. Doesn't matter what the cost is. It's not restricting there. You just have to have 7 or less cards in your hand, which if you're using this mono blue Vegeta, you're going to want to have 7 or less cards in your hand, so then you're a 35k attack every single turn. So with it being a 3-drop, that's not too expensive. You can play kind of early on, so if you wanted to use an event early as a defensive or offensive, whichever they are, then you can get this back and then use it for whatever later in the turn. So it's pretty good, especially in conjunction with this leader here. Then we have Bulma, 1-drop 5k, 10,000 combo power blocker. So this is the first blocker that we've seen. The mono red Goku deck does not have any blockers at all. It's more of just a attack, 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 get hit, get cards, attack, attack, attack. So Vegeta kind of does have, this deck is just a little bit better, mainly because it has the blocker. It can be bounced, so if you're playing the mirror match, if you have this Bulma out and then they play their 2-drop Gotenks, it can bounce a 2 or less if they have 7, because they're going to want to have 7 because it's the Vegeta effect. So they can bounce your blocker back to your hand, which I guess it's kind of, you still get that 10,000 combo power. So if they don't account for that, and then they do a big, huge swing to try to go for game, but then they bounce a 10k combo power back to your hand, and that kind of saves you. So it's up in there. But just Bulma, this being a blocker in a starter deck, it's a 1-drop, so it'll be played in other stuff. Then we have our SR, or second SR, because I think the Gotenks, the Gotenks was the SR, first one. So then we have our second SR, which is basically just a mirror of Goku with a different on-play effect. 5-drop, 35k, 0 combo power. He does have double strike, so double strike can win you the game if your opponent has 2 life left and then they get hit with this. But he has an on-play, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 4 or less and place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. So pretty good effect, because there's a lot of cards in the starter deck, and by a lot I mean every single one of them that is a 4-drop. There are other ones that have higher cost, there's the Goku that's like this of the red starter deck that's a 5-drop, so you can't bounce that one, but the Gohan in the red starter deck can be bounced by this, and every other card in that starter deck can be bounced by this. So it's, really good effect. It's also not limited to that 7 cards or less. So just, this is a really good blue card. With being double strike 35k, easily can make it up to like a 50k or 55k and try to go for a double strike. Then last we have a 2-drop 20k 10,000 combo power Majin Buu. Just a vanilla, another target for the mirror bounce, or just something, a big body that can swing at a unawakened leader early on and have them have to combo out or take the hit. So that does it for the battle cards, and we move on to the extra cards, which there are 2 in this set again. Or not the set, but the starter deck. There are 2. A 1-drop Gallic Gun, activate battle. So this can be during your turn or your opponent's turn, depending on how you want to use it. Choose your leader or up to one of your battle cards, and it gets 15k power for the battle. Then if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, draw 1 card. So you're going to have 7 or fewer. I know I've said this a lot, but you're going to have 7 or fewer just because you want to get that Vegeta boost during your turn. And then this, you could make your Vegeta from a 35 to a 50. 35 and then the 540. So you can make him to a 50. And then after that, so you use this and then you can recycle, or you refill your hand back to 7. If this is your 7th card, refill your hand back to 7, and then you can still play stuff afterwards. So, and thinking about it defensively, you play this for the 15k boost for the defense, and then refill your hand, and if you draw into a super combo, then that's another 20 on top of the 15. So this card it's a really good card. It can also, you could use this as offensive, play the Piccolo, get this back to your hand, and then use this during defense at a later point or the following turn. Then we have a 2-drop Final Flash. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, reduce the cost of this card by 1. So essentially 2 1-drop events. And then activate main, discard 1 card from your hand, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 5 or less and place it at the bottom of its owner's deck. So a cheaper Vegeta, because Vegeta, the SR Vegeta, does a 4 or less to the bottom, but this can get rid of, this will be really good in a mirror. And then it can also get rid of their of the red starter deck, Goku's double strike character. It's just basically in every starter deck except for the Broly one, which we'll cover next, it can bounce every character in the starter decks to the bottom of the deck. There's only 2 cards in the Broly starter deck that cannot be bounced by this, but every other card in the starter decks can be bounced. This one, I think this one's got to be better than Goku. As of right now, I mean, we still got 2 that we haven't looked at. I gotta put this at number 1, and then Goku at second. Just because there's a lot of answers for the Goku deck, where if they pay something, put it down, you can in turn pay 1 and bounce their 5-drop to the bottom of their deck, or pay 5, bounce their 4-drop to the bottom of their deck, boost your leader up to 35, swing at another. You can clear their board in a couple different ways. And then with this Piccolo being able to pick up both of these events back to your hand, you're probably going to have, I would think you would have 4 of these in the starter deck, but maybe you'd only have 2. If you have 4, then this one's really good. If it only ends up 2, it kind of dwindles there. But you bounce their 5-drop, play this, get this back, bounce another 5-drop or less, and just like clear their board into a 35k leader swing. Really good effects. Good draw power. I mean, you got this draw here, so you get 3 draws with the leader, and then you have the Goten, so we can get 2 things back, which that's technically 2 draws, and you can get the 1-drop Trunks back, which is into another draw. So decent draw power, really good attack power, and then really good defensive by just bottom decking their cards. So yes, a better option than the Goku starter deck, but we'll have to see how it compares to the other 2 starter decks, which is the Broly and the Frieza, which we will cover in the coming videos. But let me know down below what you think of this starter deck. Do you think it's better than the Goku one? If you think the Goku one's better, let me know how. We can talk about it or whatever, see what kind of points you have, because I probably overlooked something in the Goku one. Who knows? So that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep an eye out for the Broly and Frieza starter decks, and then after we talk about those, we will then be covering some videos of some information on events that we currently know about that will be happening closer to the release of the game. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.